Good evening from the armpit of Long Island, Mineola. It's almost 10 o'clock, and we are. How am I saying that? It's because it's so warm in this town, even though it's a cool day. And, of course, it smells like weed everywhere I walk, so, including in my own apartment. So, anyway, you'll see that we did have some clouds, some partly sunny skies at times today. There was sunshine. We'll look at the satellite here, the high-resolution satellite. And you can see that, we'll take that off. You'll see that we had some scattered cumulus, and then you can see the smoke off north and some very thick smoke over Nova Scotia. Look at that thick cloud of smoke right there. Plenty more smoke in southeast Canada here to deal with here. And we'll just move this along here, and you'll see those clouds kind of. Though if you were out east on the east end, you might have had some time with some clear skies, perhaps, at times. Let's look. We'll just show you what it looked like outside today. So yeah, we did actually see a little bit of blue sky in the afternoon here, though the clouds, it was like a half and half sky today. Half and half sky. And yeah, somebody's smoke detector's chirping too, so you might hear that in the background too. Oh, and I got woken up at 4:30 by somebody sending off this smoke detector. That's 4:30 in the morning, so haven't slept well. But anyway, you see there's the sky right there. At least it's not raining, and this is the moon. What the moon looked like. But anyway, let's go look at our current observations right now. And you'll see we've got temperatures in the 50s. It certainly doesn't feel like it here in Mineola. 57 in Farmingdale, 55 in Islip, the dew point at 52. Northeast winds, so we generally had northeast to east winds. Looking at the wind profile today. You'll see we generally had that east to northeast wind pretty much most of the day. Temperatures only in the 60s today, so still very cool out, unless you live in an urban hellhole. It was a very cool day. We can see 63 at the Guardia. There you go. It's probably what it is here in Mineola. Let's see what it is in Jersey as well. Got temperatures upper 50s as well. So, yeah, you might have heard that. So, it goes off every, minute or two. Drives me nuts again. I live with people who just are complete. They don't give a crap. I mean, you think that your smoke detector chirp in your apartment would drive you nuts, but these people, they're not human. So let's go look at the highs. Mid-60s for highs. And let's see what we got. Mid-60s also in Jersey for highs. Maybe around 70 in the city, but generally mid to upper 60s. Let's look at our lows. 52 at West Hampton, 48. Wow, West Hampton was beat by Shirley. Got down to 48, pair of 52s. So it was pretty cool this morning. Lows generally in the low 50s. We're probably going to drop again later on. I just want to look at a couple of marine observations here at our wave heights here. 5.9, so they have come down now, but there's still a little bit because of that east wind, that onshore wind. Still dealing with a little bit of coastal flooding issues here. Coastal flood statement for parts of Connecticut, as well as coastal flood advisories till 1 a.m. For New Jersey. Let's go ahead and look at the models and enjoy a little bit of dry time we got left, because the rain is going to be back in the picture, unfortunately. Looking at the GFS here at 18Z, you'll see that high pressure over us. Should hopefully keep us dry through most of tomorrow, but then the rain comes back into the picture for Friday, and then could linger around to part of Saturday as well before it finally starts drying out. And then we're finally rid of the rain. You can see this unusual pattern. There's a low that's moving from northeast to southwest. It's just crazy. But at least we've got a ridge over us, and that's going to keep the rain away for next week. Good riddance. Let's... Actually, I want to go back to some of these observations here. I know I was forgetting to do something. I want to just look at Nova Scotia and see if they were reporting smoke at all. If I could find Halifax Airport. Let's see. Visibility 15 mile. Let's see if they if any of that smoke was at the surface here. No haze or smoke being reported there at Halifax, so it must be mostly aloft, I'm guessing. And it hasn't reached the surface. You can look at a few other spots here, but I'm thinking that's probably what it is. It probably hasn't reached the surface, that smoke. But if you look over here, You'll see there is some smoke also over Cape Cod being reported, but there's a really thick cloud over Nova Scotia. You can see that really thick cloud of smoke. I'm surprised that none of the stations are reporting that, but I guess maybe it's just above the surface, perhaps. Let's see. We can try this one here. They have 15-mile visibility as well. Let's see. Nope, that's just mist that was being reported. So, yeah, apparently most of the smoke is probably aloft, and it is not at the surface in these areas, I'm guessing. You can also check Cape Cod and see if Cape Cod was reporting any smoke. Probably not, but we'll check. Let's see if they were reporting any smoke. Probably not, but we'll go ahead and we'll look and see if they were. Nope. So it's mostly aloft, not at the surface, which is, pretty much what I figured. But anyway, you'll see, let's go to the HRRR. So we'll go right to the HRRR here. So the HRRR being the most pessimistic of the models, because you can already see, look at what happens tomorrow afternoon. It already starts bringing some rain in, particularly along eastern Long Island. Here we go with the showers still coming in the evening already. And then that rain continues Friday. Yep, heavy at times throughout the afternoon. And it's just another soaker for your Friday night. This only goes out to 0Z here. And total accumulated precip already showing over 2 inches for a lot of areas already. And this doesn't even finish the whole thing. All right, so it only goes out to 0Z. So it's another soaker, unbelievably. It's just never ending. But it will end after this, fortunately. All right. So let's look at our dew points and wind flows here, and you'll see that east wind, and you can see the moisture level start increasing tomorrow a little bit, and then especially as we get into Friday, you'll see the moisture actually gets a little on the humid side because we're getting into some of that tropical air, so it gets a little muggy. With the east wind there, and that's going to bring in the moisture, and that could actually bring some chances for thunderstorms as well. Despite the fact the temperatures will be fairly cool, that rain will be convective, and that's something that we're going to have to watch, obviously. So let's go to some of the other models here. NAM3 is only going to take us out 16 hours for tomorrow. And you see the NAM3 is already bringing the rain in by the afternoon again. So as I said, we're only going to get one dry day before this crap comes back in on us. Let me go to the radar here. Show the radar here. See, because these are still the remnants from Ophelia. They're still stalled off to the south and the east. There's nothing nearby. I think the NAM may be being a little too aggressive. I'm hoping it's being a little too aggressive, and at least we can keep most of tomorrow dry. I'd have to go to an earlier run. You'll see it's bringing light rain and drizzle in as early as the afternoon. I don't know if I believe that, but once we get into Friday, look at what we're dealing with. Heavy rain for most of the day, and that's going to linger into the evening. Here we are at midnight. We still have showers over us, and total accumulated precip on the NAM. Again, this is going to be a soaker. Could be some flooding, potential for more than 3 inches of rain from this. This is going to be a real soaker of an event. It's going to be absolutely miserable. So that's another one of the models to look at. And I don't think this model has that parameter that I want. No, it doesn't. I think only the GFS has it. I'll see if the NAM12 has it. No, it doesn't. So yeah, if we look at the GFS here, which we'll go in the 18Z GFS, we look at the 700 to 300 relative humidity. This kind of shows the moisture in the air, right? So it's still in the brown tomorrow, which should indicate we should be dry. But as we get into Friday, you see that green. That's the moisture that's going to give us the rain. And you can see here, Saturday, it takes its sweet time going out, and we still may have rain yet, lingering into Saturday again. Damn it, you have to let it linger. I mean, enough already. But anyway, it should be gone by Sunday. Yeah, a very, very wet end to September. It's just, this whole summer has been a freaking sucky, wet mess. And of course, we end it, end the month of September being a sucky, wet mess that we always have. just been dealing with here. So, and if we look at the GFS, total accumulated precip, you'll see the GFS is a little more conservative with the rainfall amounts. All right, so we'll go over another model here. This is, again, looking at 12Z. So let's go to the European model. So the European model also tries to bring it in tomorrow night and maybe even tomorrow afternoon in some areas. And then we're Soaker Friday, and then the European at least tries to get it out of here for the most part by Saturday. It should be out of here. All right. Let's see what the European is. Feeling that European is giving the East End over 2 inches of rain, perhaps as much as 3 inches of rain, as well as the Jersey Shore. So that's what the European looks like. And the reason is why is all this happening? You may ask, why is all this happening? Well, let's pull out and let's go to North American view and let's look at that dysfunctional jet stream that we have here. All right, it looks like we're missing some frames on this model, which is not good. So let's go to the GFS. All right, so here's the GFS. You may wonder, where's the jet stream? Well, there's your problem right there, right? See a little cutoff right there. It develops. That's your cutoff trough right there. Again, another one. Meanwhile, the main part of the jet stream is way up into Canada. And you have this really messed up split flow with a trough in the west. Here's another weird trough here. It's just the jet stream's just continuing to be a disorganized mess as we head into October. You can see that. I mean, what the hell is going on here? I mean, it's a real mess. It really is. But that's why we're dealing with all what we're dealing with. The jet stream is dysfunctional because of climate change. Jet stream is fueled by I'm going to say it over and over again. I don't care if it's like a broken record, but the jet stream is fueled by the difference between the poles and the equator. And when you have a rapidly warming Arctic, the difference between the poles and the equator is less, and you have a weaker, more wavier, and very disorganized jet stream, which is what we're having. And the jet stream eventually will cease to function completely. And that's something that's really scary. But anyway, you can see there's that big ridging in Canada, upside down pattern. There's that little trough there that's going to spawn. These are still the remnants of Ophelia. They haven't gone anywhere. They just got pushed off to the south. Now they're coming back up, like a bad meal. All right, but you'll see as we get into next week, you see the ridging in the east there. So at least that'll keep us dry. And then as we get toward the end of the period, maybe a trough. But I don't want to go too much into the long range here. We're just going to look at the weather through next week at this point. And we got to get through another damn rainstorm. So let's go look at the icon model next. So here's the icon model. Luckily, it keeps us dry. And then I think, and then Friday, you got your soaker, and then it's going to be hard to get rid of that. Hopefully by later in the afternoon and the evening, it finally wraps up and gets on out of here. Hopefully. But, I mean, it's just another slow moving because there's nothing to move the storm system along. So all this is energy from Ophelia that got pushed down. If we look at the eastern U.S. view, all this is the moisture from Ophelia. It's just been sitting over here. It's just coming back up again. That's all that's happening. It's very unusual to see this. I don't think I've ever seen it, to be honest with you. And it's spawning another low. Coastal low probably, and then finally moving away. So, and that's the problem that you're going to have is now you're going to have this low and the pressure gradient that also comes with it, which we'll talk about as well. So, as far as tomorrow goes, it's kind of a tricky situation. I'm leaning toward it just trying to stay dry for most of the day tomorrow, but the later it gets, the more of a risk you're going to have of rain. Again, this is the HRRR already showing showers over us that early. The NAM does as well, but the GFS does not. GFS kind of shows a few over Jersey, but, just be prepared that, it's going to move in perhaps as early as tomorrow afternoon to the evening. So if you want to enjoy some dry time, I suggest you get up bright and early in the morning because the rain's going to be with us. We're going to be dealing with another 36 hours of rain chances again. I'm so over this. I really am. It's unbelievable. It really is. But anyway, let's go to our skies here because obviously whatever sunshine you saw today, I don't know if we're going to see tomorrow. All right, so let's go to the RGM first of all with the skies. And by the way, this is the RGM, which I might as well show you as well. You can see it's already bringing light rain over the area tomorrow afternoon. And then heavier rain moves in already as early as 9 o'clock already. The RGM, that's the RGM. All right. And then it just lingers around for part of Saturday. So total accumulated precip here. RGM's not quite as much, but I'm thinking I'm leaning more toward the heavier ends of things because, there's still tropical moisture there. Skies, well, we'll go ahead and look at that. So obviously tomorrow, lots of clouds, more than the day, according to the RGM. And then we're not going to see the sun Friday. We're not going to see the sun Saturday. We'll have to wait till Sunday. So another 2 days without sunshine. Now, if you look at the GFS model, GFS looks a little bit different for tomorrow. You see it shows a little more clear skies in the morning. If you look at the FV3 model here, this doesn't go far enough out. Let's go to the NAM. NAM also just rolls a lot of clouds in. So, meanwhile, if you're just to the north of the area, you might have some sunshine. Meanwhile, people upstate, they're not going to have to deal with too much of this crap. But you can see, this is what we have. This is the setup that we have for tomorrow. All right, so let's go to the... originally, some of the models were saying it was going to be more sun tomorrow, but I don't know what model it was that said that. Was it the earlier NAM? It was the earlier NAM. Was it the earlier NAM? No, it wasn't the earlier NAM. Yeah, it does show like a little bit of a break there. You see that? That's the earlier NAM. The 18Z still tries to have that like a really thin line there. It's really crazy. And then that's the 0Z run. FE3, that's the 0Z FE3 run. I can look at the 12Z run. You can see it shows maybe some breaks in the clouds at times, but than that, we're going to be stuck in the clouds for a while. So the other threat, obviously, with this next storm is coastal flooding. So let's go to the Ventus sky here, and we'll look at a couple of things here that we got to worry about with the waves, obviously, with this developing coastal storm. Obviously, tomorrow, I don't think we have to worry, but Friday, you'll see that the surf will come up with the easterly flow. It won't be as bad as it was before, but there's still going to be some high waves, and then that kind of continues into Saturday a little bit. As you see there. Thunderstorm threat. Let's go ahead and look at that as well. Thunderstorm threat as far as Cape goes. You can see there is some Cape around, so some of the storms might be strong. We'll have to see if that's exactly what happens or not. But again, there is a lot of lift in the atmosphere, lifted index. You can see the lift is mainly off to the south, but that's going to overrun into our area, and you can see a lot of it over Jersey. Again, just really messed up. Meanwhile, if you're to the north, man, you're not going to deal with any of this. If you're New Hampshire, you're going to be sitting dry. I mean, you're not going to be dealing with any of this. You're going to be, if you're up in, you got to go way up there. But if you're up in New Hampshire or Vermont or Maine, you're not going to deal with any of this crap. Which is where I wish I could be, instead of stuck here dealing with this crap again. Let's go to the windy.com model. Look at the waves situation on here, because I kind of like this model better. So you can see the waves already picking up tomorrow. You can see some strong waves, and then as we get to Friday, actually it doesn't look too bad. It looks worse tomorrow than Friday. It looks worse earlier Friday. This is based on the European model, however. You can see there is some. Probably need some more coastal flood advisories. Like it's not like they've stopped at all, really. Smoke. Talk about it, even though you're not really going to see much of it with all the cloud cover. But we'll track the smoke, and you can see probably not going to be dealing with any smoke, at least. That's the good news. It looks like it stays to the north for the most part. This is only going to take us out till 9/29, so it only takes us out to Friday. We're not going to see. It's not going to be an issue for us. Let's look at some more of the models here from Canada. I just want to see what's going on over there. These fires still. It's really hard to see. There is a cloud deck, which is good. That may mean it's raining there. Probably not, because I still see smoke here. Plenty of smoke I see over here. Yeah, you can see it over there. The fires are still going. Yeah, if you look at the MODIS here, you'll see. Oh, I don't know if you can hear that, but it's so annoying. Chirp every freaking minute. I'm gonna find out where it's coming from. Make it stop. But anyway, yeah. So that's pretty much it. So enjoy our little window of dryness because this crap is coming back up again. Because it's stuck there. You know, it's not. We have no jet stream to move anything along. But the good news is, once we're done with this, we will have a dry spell for once. So we're just gonna have to get through the next 2 to 3 days of this crap, and hopefully at least tomorrow will be dry. I mean, we'll have to see what happens. It's really hard to say what's going to happen. I think some of the models might be moving it in a little too quickly. But yeah, I see. It feels like I was forgetting something. Yeah, let's do today's statistics here. So islip got up to 67, normal high 71. That's 4 degrees below normal. The low 52 was 3 degrees below normal, and that means we're 3 degrees below normal for the day. Central Park got up to 64, much cooler in Central Park for whatever reason. 8 degrees below normal there. So, yeah, it looked like September would be above normal, but this spell here is really going to put us below normal. That month to date of 8.35. Central Park could see a foot of rain before this month is over. I don't know if that's ever happened before in September. But might as well break the record for the wettest September on record. All this crap. So, anyway, that's going to wrap up this weather update. Have a good night.